Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drowning... Wait, fuck.
Welcome to the Drowning Fools podcast. This is episode 81, and we're off to a rocky start.
Amazing, rollicking good start.
Amazing, yes.
See, look! Look!
Look at us go.
This is ridiculous.
Derek, mess up a word.
The fuck?
There you go. Perfect.
Look.
You kids.
Aren't we amazing?
Speaking of the French, I've been watching The Boys.
Yeah.
I just wanna say real fast, the dude playing Homelander is like one of the best actors I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
That's good.
Cause there's like a behind the scenes kind of thing, and looking at him behind the scenes when he's not all Supermaned up, can't even fucking tell it's him.
Just a normal ass dude.
He looks like Clark Kent, like he wears glasses. His hair is like kind of matted down, like a mess a little bit. He wears like a button-up shirt. He's kind of sheepish. He's like a completely different guy, but then he becomes Homelander. It's exactly like Clark Kent and Superman.
It's almost like glasses make a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. But I mean, the thing with like Superman is like nobody recognizes him because he does like goofy shit. Because he'll like vibrate his face, or he'll like, I think
right. I forgot that.
Like back in the Silver Age, he could use his heat vision to kind of like hypnotize you, so you wouldn't really recognize him. Like Grant Morrison and some other guys kind of fixed that, where they're like, all right, he doesn't vibrate his face and all that retarded bullshit, but he'll stand a little hunched over, he'll trip over shit, he'll throw people off his game.
Like, oh, that's Superman, and you see him tripping over, falling, dropping everything like a fool, and you're like,
it can't be Superman.
It could just be like, maybe he's a fanboy, maybe something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Superman, they brought back Superboy Prime in Dark Knight's Death Metal, which I originally said sucked ass, but they brought back Superboy Prime, so I guess it's a 10 out of 10.
Not quite. It
really is
not quite
amazing
sure
how quickly that changes.
Superboy Prime is probably one of the best DC characters they've created in like the last 20 years. Like,
straight up,
he's such a good character because he represents like all the most toxic, shitty parts of the like DC fan base, but also he's fucking hilarious and he's great. And every time he shows up, shit gets insane. So I'm glad he's back.
Nice.
Hopefully they actually do something with him.
Or he just shows up to be a face.
Well, because he kind of came back earlier a little bit technically, because he was a Shazam villain for the New 52 or whatever, or Rebirth.
Okay.
But then I guess he just kind of disappeared. Then he came back in Death Metal, which I haven't read because it's fucking Dark Knight's Death Metal and it sucks. But 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Haven't read it? 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, yeah, pretty much.
Sounds about right.
I actually, I don't think I've read like a new comic probably since like Immortal Hulk started coming out, which was like last year. Just can't do it, man. Just garbage. It's depressing. I don't even think I like comic books anymore, actually. I've been thinking about it.
Man, you are becoming an adult.
I'm just jaded. Just cynical.
100%.
It's just tough to find shit that's good. Even like the indie stuff that used to be the good shit that you would come to comics for, it's just kind of starting to drag now.
See, you don't let the whimsical world of make-believe happen.
I used to. I still am one of those guys who advocates for superhero shit and comic book shit to be weird and non-realistic and to go to weird places, but at the same time, I'm just like,
this doesn't make you're like I want it to be weird, but I want it to make sense.
I don't want it to just be stupid bullshit for stupid bullshit's sake. I want it to actually mean something.
Yeah, because everyone hates the, oh, I'm powerful. Why are you powerful? I'm powerful.
I am powerful just because. One Punch Man makes it work. That's because they don't take it seriously.
Well, I mean, on top of that, it's not the main message. Like,
Yeah. A lot of superhero shit kind of got mired in like the what does it mean to have great power and all that bullshit. And it's like, who cares? They're fucking superheroes. They know what it means to have great power. That's the whole reason they became superheroes is because they know what it means to wield great power. It's the whole deal. You don't need to meditate on it for fucking 30 years, comic books. We get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what you guys do this week? Anything fun, interesting?
I did a few things.
Get hit with a hurricane?
Nah.
I did not.
Just me then.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough water in the state of
I was
California.
gonna say,
to get hit by a
yeah,
hurricane.
there's no fucking water in California.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. Maybe if we gathered up everyone's swimming pools, we could do it.
Yeah. Just put it all in one location and just increase the air temperature in one other place and then decrease your temperature, and then we'll switch zones.
I'm not saying I want hurricanes, but I will say I would prefer a lot more rainfall.
Fellas,
yeah, that'd probably be nice.
is it literally the apocalypse when one half of your country is on fire and the other half is being drowned in water?
No, dude, that's just winter in the U.S.
Didn't used to be.
It didn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
California has been on fire since like the 60s. Like, let's be honest.
That's because California's a fucking desert and you fucking psychos won't move.
Texas is also like legitimately on fire, but not on fire.
Texas is also big enough that it has multiple types of like land zones or whatever. Like what the fuck
wasn't it like 110 for like 3 days straight or some crazy thing in Texas?
Is ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm sorry, do you mean Sacramento every fucking year?
In that desert, don't get.
Sacramento's not even in the desert.
Still,
it's in a valley.
It's all in the desert. Fuck California.
It's in a valley on a river, and it still gets up to like 115.
Are you guys in hell? Because
I mean,
it is California.
Yeah, with the rent being as high as it is, pretty much.
It would be California would be hell if it wasn't hot. It just it's California.
Yeah.
Florida is like purgatory, where nobody understands what's going on, and they're just running around in circles.
They think alligators are pets.
when they're actually food.
Yep.
Dude, I could use some alligator meat right now. It sounds so good.
I'm gonna get steaks later. Unfortunately, they're not gonna be alligator. That'll be the shit.
I just sliced my finger open yesterday, and I was not happy about it.
Just because you were just feeling like, hey man, I want to see the inside of my finger.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could bleed. I just had to make sure. No.
Do you bleed?
I was doing my job. I'm working, right? Just sitting home at work, and it was super busy because right after a hurricane, everyone wants to eat out, right? Mm-hmm. So they're all ordering a bunch of stuff, and no one could get to work. So it was a skeleton crew with like twice as much to do.
How about we just fucking close? How about that?
Yeah, I mean that would have been cool too. But you know what? Guess who didn't do any dishes? Everyone else working.
Everyone else. Yeah.
Everyone else working. We had a full day's worth of dishes to do at the end of the day.
Figures.
My hand slipped and slid across our green pepper slicer.
Ah!
Nice.
Fun times!
Dude, ow.
I don't know, man. That stuff kind of feels good to me.
It's
like bracing.
I was just like, well, this sucks. Like, it didn't hurt. I just yelled, "Are you serious right now?"
At least it wasn't like the jalapeno slicer.
Oh yeah, yeah, or something like that. Like, but yeah, I was just like,
or like a knife covered in like chili pepper.
Oh, I've done something like that before. Where
Did you need stitches or anything? Or
I was folding boxes, and then I had to go get the jalapenos, and then I dropped the jalapenos on my finger.
Oh.
So, paper cut into jalapeno juice. But yeah. So like other than that, I've just been grinding the hell out of Power Rangers. Played a lot. Like the new patch is so good. It's so good. It feels great.
I'm literally looking at a a post on the Power Rangers subreddit that's bitching about Lauren, and I'm just like, it's begun.
Good.
Oh yeah, everyone
Good.
bitches about the new character.
That's what I like to see. Of course.
On top of that, because I don't think she's broken by any means, but she does have good damage, and when characters have good damage, then they can get it relatively easy. People
It
can
looks
play.
like she just has long ass combos, but they're all so fucking intricate.
They are, but I mean, like, you don't have to do that. You can
You know what
just
fucking drives me absolutely insane?
Literally everything.
Yes, literally everything. But when like most fighting game characters get a buff that makes them broken, everybody's like, man, this is bullshit. I fucking hate this character. But when like Hwoarang gets a buff that makes him a broken character, everybody's like, oh, we'll figure it out in like a couple days.
yeah.
Every time.
Like, what people always say is like, oh, it's broken. She's been out for 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually that's just people who don't really know shit about the game probably being like, she's broken.
Yeah, like, I
Who
mean,
are, like who just kind of who might have been playing for a little bit but don't really understand this character, so now they're getting bodied and now they're like, well, this is bullshit. I put 3 weeks into this game. How come I'm getting beat down so bad?
yeah. Like,
I've noticed that is a okay.
I was just gonna say, like, I still stand by the fact that I don't think RJ was broken. I think he did need nerfs, but I never thought he was broken. I think he was overtuned, but not broken.
Okay, I'm gonna counter that. I'm gonna counter that statement because I think by the literal definition of broken, he did break the game in what he did. I don't actually think he had too much damage. I just think that the way that he could continue things was the issue for me.
I mean, Lauren can do the same thing though.
Yeah, that doesn't change.
Like, the thing is, you can do those things with with every character.
Yeah, but you can't do all this things solo, and that's the difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's the difference to me.
I got you. Yeah, like I said, I think him with damage nerf was proper because I think if he could do everything he could do but needed at least 1 assist, it would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was just overtuned.
Yeah, I like to look at that kind of stuff as like, if I make that statement, right? Like, let's say there's a character in the league. If I'm using it colloquially, then yeah, I'll just say like they're broken. But like, if I'm looking at it analytically, and I say that they're broken, I mean that they literally break their purpose in the game. And that's what RJ did. Was he literally broke the purpose of having a team? Because he could just do anything solo.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, and like, if I thought, like, I was looking at his like damage, not like specifically numbers, but just like generally, and nothing besides his fucking stupid ass ultimate was insanely overtuned.
Yeah.
So it just was the length that he could solo a combo was the issue for me. Anyway,
For me, it was just the ability to low profile a lot of things with the slide that's also hard to punish.
yeah,
I'm like, that was like the one thing I'm like, yeah, that probably needs to...
needs to go. But people are
It's gone now, so hey. He's not,
no, but like, I don't know.
not broken anymore.
This happens in League too, where like people bitch, but they bitch about the wrong shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Like, I get it because like I've been upset before, and like I did this even because I was playing some Dragon Ball earlier this week, and I was like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. I should have won that. Blah blah blah. But like as soon as I like got done with the match, and I like looked at it, I'm just like, okay, so I just got punished for being a dipshit. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's not like, oh, shit's broken. Well, okay, there was one thing, but like,
I mean, there's always going to be that.
Always
There's
good.
always gonna,
There's always gonna be that one thing.
always. Every fighting game is going to have that one thing where you're just like, that, no.
I don't know about that one, ref. Don't know about that one.
yeah.
Travel? What do you
But,
mean
like-
I'm traveling?
For the most part, like, I can kind of let the stuff go as soon as the match is over.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I see it a lot more in League than fighting games, because fighting games you have to actively go look for it, basically. But in League, like, it's brought to your doorstep with, like, free delivery from DoorDash, you know? Like, it annoys the shit out of me.
Speaking of League, man, what is wrong with 80 carries?
You mean, like, the people or, or the role?
The people. The people.
What
is
they...
what is just wrong with them? There's something wrong with
feel like-
ADCs.
I feel like most of it is that it's a role that I feel like a lot of people transition to after playing years of League. And so, like, their idea of what an AD carry should do is not in line with what AD carries currently actually are to the game.
Gotcha.
I think is, like, one of the big things.
I can understand that, yeah. I'm just, man, I have lost the last, like, 4 ranked games I played
Yeah.
based on mostly the ADC. Not strictly him, but did not help. It did not help.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, about that AD is, like, hard, in my opinion, is because, like, you're at, like...
You're at the
You're
mercy.
vulnerable.
I was gonna say you're at the
Yeah.
mercy at the enemy's assassins, basically.
Fucking everything.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of all their CC, all their assassins, insta popping, and if like your support's not on your ass, you're just gonna get in a team fight, and all of a sudden you just go, boop.
Yeah. Well, it's like the role itself is insanely strong, but like most people, one, they don't ramp correctly, like they itemize like inefficiently, and so they don't have enough power to make like the early game pushes they need to. And then two, and I think the more important thing, is that people wait too long to try to initiate their power spike, essentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like I've seen a lot, and I'm guilty of this too because I'm a very cautious player. But like, there's a lot of people who, instead of going to that fight in mid lane at 16 minutes that they really should be at with 1.5 items, they'll just keep farming, and then their team loses that fight, and then they're like,
Gotcha.
they make it to 2 items, but their team is behind now, and it's like, it's rough essentially. It's like being a top laner, but like the opposite problem essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, do I group with my team, or do I make sure that our sideways are not getting fucked? And then, regardless of what you do, like, something's going wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just, man, I was a little bit tilted.
Yeah. I think the other thing, too, is that ADs get strong at, like, 3 items now, but most games are, like, being done at, like, 24 minutes, which is not enough for 3 items. So it feels very, like, hopeless, because it feels like you don't have a chance to influence the outcome.
A lot like
But
life.
yeah, but the difference is that like if you're good at it, you can actually like change the outcome. Life will just keep fucking you.
It's true.
You don't get good at life.
You kind of
You get
just
slightly less bad.
yeah. You kind of just stumble and bumble fuck your way through life, using whatever fucking glitch and loophole you can to get through.
Yep. Man, have you... There's a Corridor Digital... I think it's Corridor Digital video where a guy gets a text message saying, hack life, and he's able to teleport through the world, but the thing glitches out on him, and he starts
Sounds
like...
familiar.
He starts like bugging out throughout the world, and like... it's some goofy ass shit.
That would always be like my worry about shit like that. Like, all right, I have all this power, but I really don't know how it works.
My biggest one is like whenever someone gets like power randomly in like anything, I'm just like, and they start testing it. I'm like, okay, you test it, but one day it just doesn't work. It just stops working. You're thousands of feet in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's some where like there are safer ways to test it than they do in the media, where it's like, all right, you're testing your ability to fly. You don't need to jump off a cliff, motherfucker. You don't, like it.
Go to the skate park. Just go to the skate park.
You can kind of hover over a fucking trampoline or something.
Yeah.
Get some fucking pillows or something to put them beneath you. You don't gotta fucking jump off the fucking highest thing you can find.
It only works if my life's in danger.
Right. It kicks in like a fucking a response. Yeah. Stupid
Like,
shit.
that's the thing about like that I really like about my hero with the superpowers is that some people are just regular Joes with some superpowers.
Right. Yeah.
I go to work, I work in my office job, and I can turn my finger into a pencil.
Right. Yeah. That's my whole job. In the fucking Boys, the Homelander, he has like a son. So he's like, all right, son, we're gonna test out your powers. So he takes the kid and he takes him on their roof, and the kid is immediately like, all right, I don't want to do this, because he's like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I don't have any fucking powers, and he's like, no, you're my son, so you'll be fine. And he's just talking to the kid, and he's kind of like, all right, we won't do it. And then he's kind of like, lowering the kid's guard, and he just fucking pushes him with no expectation. He falls like right on the lawn, and he just plops down, doesn't move for like a good 5-6 minutes, His mom comes running out and shit. The dude's dude's got this look on his face like, should have done that shit. Whoops. But then he starts like trying to convince himself. Like he starts going, he's fine, come on. You know, it's nuts. It's like, come on, bro, you didn't have to do all that. Like
that sounds like a dad for sure. Like after doing something that he knows.
This is Homelander.
Well, I mean, it's obviously to the extreme, but I'm like,
where he just wants to control somebody. But yeah, where he's like, he's all right, you know.
Yeah, like you see your son run into the wall on accident after you tripped him, and you're like, ooh, I was just trying to play with him and then tripped him, and now his face is in the wall.
Honestly, it would take everything in me to not laugh 10 times harder.
You're just sitting there like, ooh.
Because odds are, if it's my kid, they're going to have a fucking massive head like I did as a kid. So if I trip them, 110% they're rolling into something else. You know, it's going to look like a fucking weird little munchkin with a giant skull. Looking like a fucking Wonderful 101 character. That would be fucking hilarious. Just have like stupid Looney Tunes noises all the time. So whenever I trip them, just bonk.
You just download the Looney Tunes app on your phone and be like, all right, I'm gonna play a laugh track every time I see him walk by.
All the time. Anyway, enough about my abuse.
It's like I don't have a child.
What did I do this week? Actually, I did do a bunch of stuff, but I want to filter and see what's important. I played Hack, H-A-A-K. It just came out in early access.
Okay, I was gonna say dot hack or hack.
Hack. It's like a Metroidvania 2D platformer.
Okay.
Pixel art style. I guess it takes place in a post-apocalyptic future. It's all right. It's like kind of the combat kind of gives me like Mega Man Zero vibes, but the weapons are more useful in a Metroidvania way.
Okay.
So I actually really like that about the game, where every item you get, like every attack and weapon you get, genuinely feels useful to traversing the area around you, which feels nice. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just feel like you have superfluous shit that doesn't really do anything beyond its one purpose.
Okay.
So stuff feels useful. I just wish that stuff felt good to use.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an early access, but the gameplay kind of just doesn't feel tight at times. I don't know, just some of the stuff they want you to do, it's not very clear what you're supposed to be doing for a very long time, and it has that Ori problem, or Ori and the Blind Forest problem, where the background kind of just blends into danger.
Okay.
So you don't know what can hurt you and what can't. You don't know what you'll just walk past and what will fucking hurt you. So that stuff kind of gets annoying. And stuff like I'm pretty sure every single enemy except maybe one or two fucking blow up when you hit them. Well, when you kill them.
Okay.
So, and there's like an extra bit of damage that can happen, which is fine. Just let me know when that damage is coming. Give me some sort of warning, because I think only one enemy actually gives you a warning as to when it's about to explode. So all the rest of them just fucking explode without you really being able to tell what the fuck happens. It took me forever to figure out that that's what they were even doing. Like, I thought I was just taking a hit from them, because I was timing it wrong, but no, it's because they were fucking blowing up.
They're exploding.
Yeah. There's one where, like, you cut him up to pieces, and then his head, like, flies up in the air, but his head turns all dark and, like, kind of starts to fade away, so you can't really see it anymore. Like, the rest of its body starts to fade away, so you're like, okay, I can just stand here and kind of chill for a second. No, the head blows up as it's fading away. So it's like, that's a little annoying. Everything else is fun. Like, it's relatively still exciting to do stuff. I just wish, I don't know, I just wish stuff was a little more tighter. But I mean, once it comes out early access, I bet this is going to be fucking amazing, honestly.
Yeah. I'm looking at, trying to find the images of it.
I've been following it for a while, like, even before it showed up at, I think a Sony conference the one before last or whatever. It showed up there, and I was kind of surprised because like, oh shit, this is just like an indie game I kind of was just randomly following that had fucking like 2,000 followers on Twitter or some shit, and it suddenly shows up here at this showcase. So got a little bit of press.
It's on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's in early access.
Okay, I'm trying to find pictures of it because I want to see what you're talking about.
Speaking of early access, Hades came out of early access and is now in 1.0. Yay!
Yay! I need to go play it then.
It's great.
I've been waiting for it to come out in 1.0, so.
It's amazing. It's great. Pretty satisfied. I was actually wrong. There wasn't more shit after you beat Hades. You just beat Hades, and then there's like one thing, but that's it. It even has a I'm gonna say kind of convoluted, kind of bullshitty way of making you just kind of die after you beat Hades for like the quote unquote true ending. But it's because it wants you to run through it more and unlock more story stuff. So, which is fine. But it's just great. It's super good. It's Hades. Just go play it. Just go fucking
just
buy
go
this
play
game.
Yeah.
Play
Is
a
it
little more
the
Control.
HA/? No, that's not it. Nope.
What?
It was a different game.
No, yeah, it's HAAK.
AAK. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's good looking. I like it already.
I watched a movie called Swordmaster. I think it's just Swordmaster. Not much to say about it. Kind of just your typical, I don't want to fight. All right, they started fucking with the people I like. Now I gotta fight kind of story.
Okay.
Basically, it opens with this dude who's like this swordsman, who's like a bounty hunter, or like a hitman or whatever, and he's like the most badass swordsman of all fucking time, right?
Of
but
course.
everybody has him confused with this other guy who's also the most badass dude of all time.
Of course.
So he's like, the bounty hunter dude is like, all right, I'm gonna go find this guy. I'm gonna fucking kill him because I'm so sick of having my fucking accomplishments be attributed to him. So he goes to the dude's home, and the dude's dad is like, sorry, he did. He just kind of died one day. And so the bounty hunter dude's all sad, and he finds out he has like a few months to live or whatever. So now we cut to this whorehouse, and there's this guy here who they just call Useless Jin or whatever. Turns out he's the guy. He didn't die. He just decided to fuck off one day because he doesn't like killing people because his dad's an asshole.
I see.
So he's just working at this whorehouse now. Also, I can't even forget about this. This is weird, like love triangle subplot. Fun fact about me: I hate romance and shit because I don't care. Unless the characters are like likable characters, which 9 out of 10 times they're not. So I'm not really down for a lot of romance shit. My brain usually just turns off whenever that shit starts happening. So this one, it was actually kind of interesting in the sense that the chick, the evil, the kind of the, so there's this other clan who's very like, they're the rich, powerful clan that everybody reveres or whatever, and she's part of it, and she wants to marry the guy that everybody thought was dead, Useless Jin. But he's like, I don't want to marry you because it would mean I would have to take care of both clans, and I don't want to be a rich guy, and you're just trying to marry me for power and all this other shit. And all that stuff is true, but you can also tell that she genuinely loves him, and then she's kind of fucked up about the whole situation where she's like, hell yeah, I want fucking power, but also I want power with you,
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
so it's actually pretty interesting. It's actually pretty nice. And then there's this fucking simp who follows her around, who's like, he's super in love with her, but she's like, nah, bro, you're just kind of lame. You're not as good as the third master. So whatever. But basically, the town that the useless Jin guy is at just kind of starts getting attacked by a bunch of dudes. The evil chick shows up. The bounty hunter shows up at one point to help them. Like, he kills like the local mob boss, and everybody's like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Can you teach a useless Jin how to use a sword?" Of course, not knowing useless Jin fucking is the most badass swordsman ever.
Yeah.
So fucking bounty hunter shows Jin a bunch of moves. And then, cut to a little bit later, bounty hunter Jin realizes, or the bounty hunter realizes that useless Jin is fucking the third master, and he's like, "I'm gonna go kick his ass," and he stops. He's like, "Wait a minute, I showed him all my moves. I can't beat him now."
I love these kind of movies. They're kind of trashy, but they're fantastic.
Like, the thing about kung fu flicks is that they have like the trashiest, stupid plots ever, but they make you believe in them, you know. Like, you really feel like it's endearing just how like how serious they take it, you know.
At some point you go, "Man, this is super stupid," and then you're like, "Oh, but they actually don't know."
Yeah, it's and you know what, that makes me like the story. That that genuinely makes me like the story more, not because it's like a good story, but just because I'm now invested, because it really feels like they really want me to be invested. You know, they really care.
It's like kayfabe in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. So eventually, you know, they figure everything out. Dude comes back and he's like, "All right, yeah, I was the third master all along." Saves the day essentially. There's a really weird part where I'm like a whole army is attacking the dude's home, right? And he goes back to save his home.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even though his dad's an asshole, he's like, "Still my dad." So he's like, there's a point where an army's attacking his home, and I'm like, how the fuck is this dude so tough that they didn't want to attack his home back when they thought he was alive? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is this dude so strong that this whole army of badass motherfuckers who just basically one-shot nearly everyone they come across are afraid of him? And then they show you why he was so dope. He doesn't draw his sword once, and he beats all those guys.
That's so fucking cool.
Like, he does like a little kind of half draw where he'll block someone's blade with his blade, but he won't like fully pull the blade out, and he won't even like have his other hand on the sword. He'll be holding it by the scabbard, and he'll just kind of like momentum the sword up so the blade comes out a little bit, so it blocks, and then the sword will fall back into the sheath. Super crazy, fucking awesome.
Virgil.
Pretty much. He's pretty much Virgiling around. It's super cool. And then he has like a really cool final fight with the bounty hunter dude. It was satisfying.
Okay.
But the one thing about this film that I really liked, like the concept, that I just want to fucking steal. There's this guy who follows the bounty hunter guy around, and every dude that the bounty hunter guy kills is like a legendary swordsman.
Yeah.
So this fucking guy follows him around and is like, "I'm gonna take this motherfucker's sword, and you're gonna kill more motherfuckers. I'm gonna take all their swords, and then when you die, I'm gonna take your sword." And he talks about selling them, and it's fucking sick. It's amazing.
Like, that's such a good business practice.
Like, he's like, "I'm just gonna follow around the strongest swordsman ever and just collect the swords and then just sell them off, you know, and retire rich."
Yep.
Like, I love that. That's fucking a sick character trope. Like,
not depending on how you write them too, it's not even a like scummy type thought process.
Because he's not. Because the dude even says he'll like give him tips and shit on how to fight better, and he'll show him like where he like slips up, where his weaknesses are, so he'll kill more dudes. So, like,
you just like. Do you know? I forget who it was. It's like going into a tournament with your coach, right?
Like, he wants you to do like get like farther and farther just so you can get to him eventually, and so he'll just squash you. That's awesome.
Now I want that as a thing where like if you lose, you don't get to hold a controller anymore. And this guy just goes around collecting pro players' controllers.
If I was a pro player, I'd be money matching for controllers and fight sticks.
Of course you would.
Better fucking believe it.
It's like, all right, $500. If I win, I get your stick. If you win, you get $500.
I would have a wall of fucking sticks from dudes I'd beat.
First at 10, I take your stick if you lose.
Holy shit, that's awesome. What would that even, like, a fucking
Technically,
fight stick bounty hunter?
I was gonna say technically, like, it's a pink slip match.
Oh yeah. Damn, yeah. That's bad.
I get your stick.
What else did I do? Watch The Boys. Watch a bunch of South Park. I watched something else. I started watching The Villainess, which is basically the Black Widow story, but in Korea.
Okay. I wanna start watching more foreign films because I just feel like the action scenes in foreign films are they're a different level.
They're
not as well refined, but the storytelling of the fights seem to be much better.
Yeah, the storytelling. Well, that's what I mean whenever I say like the action is the storytelling. This is what I mean. Like a lot of these foreign films say, fuck all this, like, you know, like constantly talking to each other and verbally telling us what the fuck's going on all the time. Like a lot of stuff, like especially in like Korean films where characters will literally just stand there and not say anything for like 3 minutes.
And that says a lot more than
right, you know, and whenever you, like an action scene in an action movie is your story, you know. Yeah. Like it's your characters expressing themselves in the way they, you know, and shit happening. So whenever I watch like
no more words, tell me with your fist.
Oh my god, I was literally watching Kung Fu Panda and I was thinking I am so ready for an unironic thing that just goes, no more talking, let's fight. Just unironically, like, fuck all this chit-chatting and shit, let's battle. And it's just like an hour and a half of fighting. Give me that shit.
With moments of, like, conversation in between.
The only conversation is to introduce a new guy who's about to be fighting. You know?
An hour and a half movie with an hour and 15 minutes of it is fighting.
Yeah.
It'd be so dumb. I would watch the hell out of it.
That would be amazing.
So dumb.
I would kill for that. Just like guys coming out of nowhere, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? I am the master of the Tiger Clan. You know,
I'm the tiger, or I'm the master of moles. And he just comes from the dirt.
Right underground. Yeah,
strikes a pose.
Completely nowhere. Fucking space alien showing up with giant kung fu muscles. Like, I come from the
I'm
Orion
the master
Nebula.
of my inner being, and he just comes from space.
I heard you guys like to fucking fight, so let's fight. That's what it'll be called. It's just called Let's Fight, and the whole movie is just fighting.
That's... I'd be so down to watch that.
I will support your endeavors when it comes out in
It's
theaters.
that Let's Fucking Go image, but as a whole movie. Where everyone's just fucking going at it, beating the shit out of each other.
Is that your week there, or Deshaun?
Wait, wasn't I talking about something else before I literally interrupted myself with that shit?
Fuck, I have no idea. I'm ready to talk about the PS5.
I mean, let's do it.
Well,
I mean, the Xbox came first, technically.
Derek's week first.
I just worked.
Oh. Well.
Yeah. That's it.
Any band practice?
Yeah, there is band practice.
Okay. What say. Cool.
Yeah, I got called in a lot, so I basically just worked. I haven't even played Roshi yet, so...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I just been working on a bunch of D&D stuff, and yeah, I already talked about the rest of my week. D&D is...
Alright, let's get on this PS5 shit.
Yes, let's get on this.
Well, since you talked about Roshi real fast, Roshi's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
He looks pretty in-depth, and I think he's, I'm super glad he's in the game, and he might be...
Like,
if I ever come back to this game, he will probably be on the team permanently.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna go on my team. But he's like one of the most complex, like intricate characters. So I'm gonna have to spend so much fucking time labbing him. He doesn't have a super dash button. I'm just like, oh, my crutch. Actually, it's gonna be good though, because it'll actually teach me to play neutral. But still,
I'm thinking about dropping one of my Brawlies for him because I just want to play two boys and their father.
That's adorable.
Just like these two buff dudes standing behind Roshi.
There's a so one of the fucking interactions with the characters with Roshi is with Trunks. He goes, "Holy shit, it's Master Roshi! I can't wait to fight Master Roshi." And I was like, "That's how everyone should be reacting when they get to fight Master Roshi. It's fucking Master Roshi."
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines from it is it's when Yamcha's on the same team. The only advice I have for you, Yamcha, is don't die.
Don't die. I love just thinking about Yamcha showing up and then dying first every time. It's great.
So this PS5 got announced.
The PlayStation 5. I mean, wait. Well, okay. Let's talk about the Xbox first, real quick, because I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We talked about it very briefly because none of us watched the actual
Oh yeah, because we don't give a shit. But yeah, November 10th. It's gonna be Xbox Series S, $300. Xbox Series X, $500. PS5 for the prices. So for the discless digital edition is $399, so $400, and for the disc version is $500. So that's about what I think most people expected.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
You know, the more I was looking at, the more they showed of it and from different angles and stuff, it doesn't look too bad.
It looks like a console.
It looks like a console. Yeah.
Again,
Wi-Fi router.
I think I've said it before. They could just make these things like boxes with no design on them at all, and I'd be fine as long as they did what they're supposed to. Just fucking put a PlayStation sticker on one and put an Xbox sticker on the other. I don't give a shit.
You mean a PC?
As long as I mean, that's what they're becoming, right? That's what that's literally what the fucking Series X is.
Yeah, pretty much. I do like the little slots for the fans in the PS5.
Yeah.
I think that's goofy as hell, but makes
Super
sense.
weird, but I mean, they were going for some weird artsy shit, so
it's okay.
It worked out.
As soon as I get one, I am buying a Kaiba head, and I am taping it to the top of the...
It's pretty good.
I'm taping it to the top of my PS5. But yeah, no, the PS5 has a lot of cool shit coming to it.
I mean, does it?
Yes. Yes,
I mean,
it does. I am
all
excited.
these consoles have cool shit coming to it. I don't think just specifically the PlayStation.
Okay, well, I am excited for the stuff they showed.
All consoles matter,
Good point. Nevertheless,
unless you're a PC guy, then no consoles matter.
Let me rephrase that then. I'm excited for what they showed at this PS5 show.
So I think they actually confirmed, probably either today or yesterday, that fucking PS4 games will be backwards compatible.
Yep.
So, not PS3, PS2, or PS1 games, but PS4 games. So cool. We'll see how long that lasts. That's probably the reason why so many people are going apeshit to get this model, the first model, because they might take it away like they did with the PS3.
Yeah.
So. But
in one hand I get it, and the other hand I'm just like,
I don't really give a shit because I'm a PC player now. So
he's converted.
That's just the truth. I play most of my shit on PC. I've been basically slowly going through and buying any game I have on PS4 or PS3 and getting them on PC. You know, especially since they're going to be mostly on sale. They're going to be cheaper. You know.
Yeah, true.
So. You know, my PS4's been collecting dust. Let me tell you guys, I was tempted to get that fucking Control Ultimate Edition. I wanted to get it just so I wouldn't have to turn my PS4 on ever. So I could just, but I was like, nah, I really don't want to give these motherfuckers any more money. And I already got it on my PS4, so. But, hey, but you know what? Speaking of shit, we already have on one thing, and we're being given another. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
You can
PS5 console exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Virgil is here.
Virgil is here.
if you already own the game, he will be DLC.
I need
Nice.
more power.
But that's it. You don't get the legendary Dark Knight mode. You don't get the, I think, locked 60 frames per second mode. You know, you don't get... That's all just with the special edition, which is fine.
Well, I mean, that's
That makes
also
sense.
because it's going to be PS5, so you have to boost up all the...
Yeah.
Now, do you think that mode's going to come out for PC as well?
I don't know. I haven't really seen anything about that. It really seems like they're going hard with the whole PS5 exclusive thing. Like Demon Souls is the same way right now.
Yeah, I was sad when they fixed that news.
Right?
I was like, oh fuck yes, I don't have to buy a PS5 right away.
Right.
Now I
was
have
thinking
to-
the same thing.
Now I have to go buy a PS5 right away because I have to play that game.
And now I'm not even sure, is FF16 going to be PS5 exclusive, or is that going to be on the PC as well?
That one,
So it will have a PC release.
Yeah.
But it will be exclusive on the PS5 for a bit, and then it will have a PC
Okay,
release.
so
That's
then, so I
big
can't wait then for that.
but yo,
Yeah, you can wait
So
for
let's talk about what do you want to talk about first, 16 or Dark Souls?
I think you guys should get Demon Souls out of the way first, because
Yeah,
I have
Demon Souls.
a little bit of investment on
Okay.
Final
FF16.
Fantasy
Okay,
16.
okay.
So
Not a ton, because honestly, it's just
So,
a Final Fantasy game.
I will admit, I was a little eager, and I thought the Demon Souls remake, for like the first 2 seconds, was Elden Ring.
oh.
Because I saw you know the companies who were making it, you know,
Yeah.
and I kind of immediately kind of got that vibe from just hearing a character talk and seeing like some buildings and shit.
Yeah.
And I was getting super hyped.
Yeah,
But
like-
then I saw the guy walk out and I was like, oh, it's fucking Demon Souls.
Yeah, so since I played Demon Souls a bunch, as soon as I heard her talking, I'm like, yeah, this is Demon Souls. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's
Yeah.
fucking. But that's just because I played a shit ton of Demon Souls, so I
Right.
knew exactly what that speech was.
So what do you think, Cameron? Does it look good? I think it looks all right.
So I do have some takeaways from here. I'm loving the way the main character looks, or like how
Yeah.
your character looks. I'm loving the way you move and attack and like those animations. I'm not too big on what the enemies look like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just because it's was the not display, but what's it called through the video. Because once it's in front of you, it's just completely different.
Are they like significantly different from those enemies in the original game?
No, they still look exactly the same. Well, except for some of the humanoid creatures. But like
I know the who's the giant knight that they show?
he has no head.
He's different in the original game than he is
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
new one for sure.
They're slightly different. I think it's gonna end up being the same feel as what it was in Demon Souls, like the original, but
Yeah.
just like because it gives off the same vibe, but it doesn't look the same, and that's where I'm trying to figure out if I'm angry with it or okay with it, because the enemies, the basic human peoples, they look and sound more like orcs than humans.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where they showed these guys wrapped in bandages in like a mining area. Those didn't look like humans, and I'm like, those were just like dudes before. But
Just
also,
guys.
But that could also just be me having not playing Demon Souls in forever, so I could have forgot what they look like specifically. But when I remember them, I'm thinking like, oh, these are just guys and dudes, not orcs and creatures. But it gives the same vibe, and that's the main thing. And I'm excited to go through this game again.
So you're saying don't throw your copy of Demon Souls in the incinerator yet?
Not yet, no. I would
Not
hold
quite
on to
yet.
it. I would hold on to it until you play the new one.
Okay.
Although the animations for combat, I am stoked for. Like all the small little details they added, add so much more weight.
Like visually, this game looks like nothing I've kind of seen ever before.
yeah,
You know, like this is this is a good thing to show for where games are kind of going.
yeah, and like the boss fight, like the one you see where he's fighting the big dude, that
Yeah,
thing is
the
getting
fucking
bloodier and
blood.
bloodier as you're fighting it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Things take damage, and then when they do, they get visibly different.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
But yeah, there seems to be a lot more weight in this game when it comes to swinging and moving and doing all the like just small details. And I'm happy. I'm down for it because when I remember Demon Souls, I just can't wait to get my giant fucking demon weapon and go. This thing swings so.
Yeah. And that's coming out November. Demon Souls, yeah, because it's a launch title or whatever. So it's DMC.
Fucking getting it.
Speaking of, okay, one last thing about DMC. When I heard Virgil say what would our lives be like if we were switched or whatever, I was getting super hyped. I was screaming in my house.
Yo, that was
like,
me for Demon Souls.
I was getting not so hyped for that because I was like, I saw it said Capcom. I was like, is this it? I was like, it's probably just some like. I saw it say Capcom, and I saw it looked like the opening level from, like, the opening kind of cutscene from the base game. But then Virgil actually started talking, and it was like, it was confirmed, and it sunk in for me that this was the Virgil trailer.
I was going to say...
and I got stupid hype.
Is it a whole full campaign with Virgil?
Yeah, he has his own like level or whatever.
Okay,
he's
cool,
getting his own. Like he's gonna be able to go through his own game, and you're gonna be able to see some stuff from his perspective, and then play through some exclusive levels to him. So, yeah, super hype. He can fucking stab himself and become V and fight completely differently.
Yeah,
which is sick. I'm hoping there's like a something that has to do with what's his fucking name? His big demon form, whose name I can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does he get? Like, do you think in the future there'll be DLC to play the big demon form?
Maybe. That's kind of generally bigger than what DMC normally tries to go for. So
yeah,
because that dude is fucking massive. That dude's huge.
Also with DMC, just real quick, do you think they're gonna try to implement a fighting game version of it since they have the mod?
What do you mean?
Because the mod just came out for the fighting game version, or 1v1.
Nah, probably not. That kind of came out a little too late for this, probably.
Well, I mean, not for. I'm not talking about
maybe
this release.
in the future. I don't know. It depends. I guess because if people are just gonna do it themselves, like if this ends up on PC and people can just do it themselves,
yeah,
probably not. Because that's like competing with Capcom almost. Like it's an idea that Capcom didn't have. And we know how these companies are about, like...
if it's not their idea, they don't want to do it.
Yeah, like, if it's a great idea, but if they didn't come up with it, they don't want anything to do with it, so...
Alright, well, let's move on to Final Fantasy, because that...
FF16, holy shit, the first time I've really given a super fuck about a Final Fantasy game in a while.
Medieval setting, Final Fantasy
fuck
medieval
the setting, whatever, the fucking gameplay, dude.
The gameplay also.
it's the guy who did DMC 5.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
When I saw how they were moving around and shit, I was like, uh-oh. They got the gameplay right this time. I'm not really sure about the story or anything. I know it will probably have something to do with like Crystal Chronicles and all that shit. Because they literally say the crystal, the crystal, the crystals, the crystals.
Yeah, they do say the crystals.
So, but yeah. What do you think, Derek? Since you're the FF guy.
It looks mildly darker than other Final Fantasies.
I mean, I wouldn't even say mildly. It looks like it's straight up going for a very dark, like almost war story.
Someone dies in front of a child and gets covered in blood, and the child's just sitting there, just like, yeah, it's darker for sure.
It's definitely darker.
I don't know. But Final Fantasy games are pretty fucking dark.
I was gonna say 15. They really had an entire fucking city get destroyed and a bunch of people die like on screen. So.
And I mean, 12, like the
12
character
also.
that you start with.
Yeah.
Ends up getting just straight up deaded.
But the tone of those usually isn't as dark as this looks like. Usually the tone of all those games as a whole are very adventurous and ultimately like
a fantasy.
Yeah, and like it's ultimately like a positive outlook. Even if fucking everyone dies at the end, someone is like, but we had fun along the way, and and shit like. But this looks like it could have like a Bloodborne ass ending where you don't know what the fuck to feel, and you're like, well, did I win? I'm not sure. This is like it could kind of go some darker directions, like as far as like tone and just overall feel goes.
Yeah, I feel like the actual actions probably won't be that much darker, but the tone could
Right,
be.
yeah. Because the dude is literally going, "I will kill you!" Like, it's like the last thing in the fucking trailer. Like, it's like, alright, guy. You're like, I see what you're doing,
Chill.
but...
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing about the crystals is that it may not be the Crystal Chronicles. Like, it could be, but the crystals in Final Fantasy have pretty much always been relatively important. Like, there were teleportation crystals in 12, too. So,
Well, aren't they the things that connect all the universes? Because each Final Fantasy is like a different universe or whatever, but isn't there like the crossover stuff is always about the crystals and how they bring everything together because shit got fucked up or whatever?
yeah, probably. I don't know.
I feel like I've heard
looks
that
good.
somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm hesitant to really say anything other than it looks worse than Final Fantasy 15. Like, visually. I know it's like just the first trailer and stuff, but like...
Yeah, this seems pretty early because this isn't even coming out until like I think, what is it, quarter 3, 2021 or some shit like that? Or was that something else?
No, that
It's not coming out till next year, I don't think.
Yeah, but like... It's just, I don't know, like, the character models to me seemed very Final Fantasy 14 rigged.
I was
rather
thinking
than Final
the
Fantasy
exact
15
same
rigged.
thing looking at it, to the point where I was like, oh, this must be the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely could agree with that. Like, they do look a little...
It's a slightly more cartoony.
Yeah.
Than... Because, like, Final Fantasy 15 looked really fucking real,
Yeah.
you know?
You-
Like, obviously it's not realistic, but, like,
It's
the characters...
Square Enix realistic.
Yeah, and, like, the characters looked like... If you pulled them out into the real world, they wouldn't look that different.
Although they wouldn't look too crazy weird looking.
I will say the fidelity of those models though is something.
Yeah.
Of the new models or the Final Fantasy 15
The
ones?
new models,
Yeah.
like those are some good Like the art style and like design choices, maybe not as like what I was expecting, but the actual like just detail in the models themselves, it's ridiculous.
These designs
Yeah.
though are kind of like, I like that it's kind of stripped back, but it's kind of basic design wise for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it really is.
almost more Dark Souls ish. I said it, people. I compared something to Dark Souls. What are you gonna do?
Nothing, you're editing the podcast.
That's right.
I will say the chocobos look fucking cool as shit though.
And, like, the combat to me looks like Final Fantasy 15.
It looks like, to me, a better version of Final Fantasy 15. Like, it looked similar, but I could see stuff where I was like, oh, that looks like it could work way better than it did in Final Fantasy 15. Because Final Fantasy 15 felt like it had somewhere to go, but it just didn't go there, and it just felt unfinished, you know? This seems like they got the DMC dude. This feels like it'll actually be the realized version of what we were supposed to get in 15. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I can see
for
that.
this, at the very least. At least for the gameplay, because holy fuck, they showed us gameplay. Like, that's
A little bit.
That's all they gotta do to get me excited for shit. Just show me gameplay.
Yeah. I don't know. It does look interesting. I'm gonna hold off on really getting into it until I see more.
Yeah, I'm definitely
But-
not excited for the story. I'll say, because Final Fantasy.
I was gonna say,
But
for me, for my first take, I agree. I'm not excited for the story, but I do love the setting,
yeah,
and it looks like it's gonna be fun to play.
yeah.
And the chocobos look fucking cool. I'm still,
Yeah, the chocobos look cool,
I'm hooked.
yeah.
I'm hooked on the chocobos, guys. I'm sorry.
Can't wait to see how many fucking chocobos get absolutely fucking wrecked by some giant monster.
Yeah, I can't wait to fight on the back of a chocobo.
I bet there's gonna be like a massive war scene where
There-
you're fighting like a billion dudes using all your crazy abilities.
And then at the same time, you're going to be looking in the sky to watch the icons fight each other while you are
Yeah.
like, oh no, don't kill me, icon. That dude got
Bro.
killed by a boulder.
like that would be some hype shit that would make me excited for Final Fantasy again. Because that's like the Zack battle in whatchamacallit, where you just fight like a million dudes until you fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be cool if they brought that back in some way, but then make it huger and have the fucking
Have this
icons, whatever.
proper stakes too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But you know what this also kind of reminds me of? And I don't know if you guys played it. Did either of you play Drakengard at all? The first one.
No.
This kind of
I've heard a lot about it.
This also kind of gives me Drakengard vibes, where it's just a very kind of dark universe, like a dark medieval universe. And knowing like, especially since like Nier is a spin-off of Drakengard, and Square Enix has been working on Nier games, you know, and the kind of places Final Fantasy is trying to go now, since FF7 Remake was a fucking weird timey-wimey mindfuck of ghosts literally changing and retconning shit as they went along. This could go into some weird Drakengard places.
It could.
So that would be cool. If it wasn't just like your typical kind of fantasy, like dark fantasy, where, you know, I'm an angry knight who has to go fight the big bad guy because he killed my family or something. Don't give a shit, bro. Talk about how you want to fuck your sister and how your current girlfriend is pregnant by some mega demon. Give me that weird shit. Give me the shit where you fucking walk through a portal and end up in modern day Tokyo and then get shot down by F-16s or whatever.
Give me it where you have to go kill yourself in the womb because of time icon.
Bro. Can we talk about the prevalence of like kill yourself in the womb stories where it's like, oh man, I fucked up time. I gotta go back and kill myself so I don't fuck up time. Like it's in the Ashton Kutcher movie. It's in Drakengard. It's in like other shit. Like weird like comic books. There's one where this dude's sister tried to strangle him in the womb and shit because she was completely aware. Super fucking weird.
That just sounds so stupid. I am completely aware, even though my
Bro, you know who? That's from. I want to say that's from New Mutants or New X-Men. You know who wrote that? Grant Morrison, one of the greatest fucking comic book writers of all time, wrote a fucking ridiculous story about a completely aware fetus who tried to kill her twin brother in the womb with her fucking umbilical cord.
Isn't there a movie?
And then, hold up, and then he attacked her psychically as a response and killed her back, but then she came back to life because she was born catatonic or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yep, you told
Ridiculous
me about
shit.
this. Yeah. But isn't there a movie where there's a time traveler who grows up with this girl who's like a child, meets this time traveler, and then she's an adult and he's a time traveler?
Yeah, the time traveler's wife.
And then she gets pregnant and her baby disappears or some shit like that?
Yeah, he like... What the fuck happens? He like fucks up the time stream or something. So he disappears, and then when he disappears, the child disappears with him because, you know, he ceases to exist. So she could have never been born. Super weird. I think he gets
come
murdered or
back
something
randomly or something like that.
It's fucking weird. There's another movie called The Unborn or something like that, where basically that's exactly what happened. Like the main character chick basically kills her brother in the womb, but he comes back as a ghost.
Oh, and that also happens in Jumper, where like the baby teleported out.
Oh my god, yeah.
That shit made me laugh every time I thought about it. I'm like, okay.
So much weird baby shit. Just like weird babies being born in the weirdest ways possible, or just doing weird shit that they shouldn't be doing. Super weird.
So fucking weird.
Sweet.
So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about on PS5? Because there's a couple of things I'd like to talk about.
With the PS5 specifically?
Not the PS5, but like the show, the PS5 show.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I forget the name of the game, but it was the one where you are a hitman trying to revert a looper or something like that.
Oh, Deathloop.
Deathloop, that's what it is.
Bro.
They showed that the more they show off about that game, I'm like, this is a cool ass concept. I'm
really
down.
hyped now. Because before it was just like, because we were even talking about this, is it just going to be like a hero shooter where you pick an assassin and then you go out and fight?
Not even
But
close.
no, it's actually, you are one dude and you got to figure out how to kill these guys as fast as possible.
It is both a puzzle game and a shooter. at the same time.
Man, when they went through that first scenario and he found out all that shit, and then he was like, okay, well, I'll just reset the day or whatever and just make it so he never discovers the science thing, so he goes and drowns his sorrows with the other guy so I can just kill them both at the same time.
It's almost like a roguelike.
Like, that's super awesome. Yeah, like this actually reminds me of something. There was another game that was kind of like this. Gungeon is like this in a way where your repeated go-throughs are like you setting stuff up so you can get to the end.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Just it's so I love when people do time in an interesting way.
Yeah. I was even thinking like this is like the generation of interesting death and time mechanics, because everyone seems to be trying to do some kind of weird time or death mechanic now, where the game where dying isn't like the end or anything, you know, or dying is like just the first step or part of the process.
Because I think it just makes you feel less like you messed up. Like it's not as disheartening when you die versus
you still feel like you're getting somewhere ultimately.
Yeah, even if you fuck up, and then
then
when you do accomplish it, it still feels just as good as if you died like 1,000 times, lost all your souls, and then picked them back up and finally beat the boss. It's a very similar feeling.
Like to the point where games are just making it like they're making it just part of the story. Like Hades is literally like, I literally died. I was fucking murdered by these monsters, and then I showed up back here.
Yeah,
you know. So I like this. I'm glad it doesn't seem to just be like a fad. Like at one point we had like every game had a fucking like RV car or RC car, or every game had like somebody with a bow and arrow or some shit, or every game had like
RC
parkour.
car. You know, there was an RC car back in the Cold War that did some work.
Bro. Okay. So all of that was hype, like it was cool, dumb movie shit.
If it was a movie, I'd love it.
But fuck that stupid bullshit. That is not how the Cold War went.
But like, even it like just taking the time period out of it being a shooter, I was like
that little remote controlled car was more advanced than like remote controlled cars you can probably get on the market now. That little thing blew up an entire fucking plane. Like, that's insane.
But yeah, so like that whole cutscene, the whole scenario, I'm like, oh, this is boring.
There's like so much going on, and you're like, man, I wish I could play this.
Yeah, I was gonna like the entire time I saw it, I was just like, this doesn't look like you're playing the video game. It looks like you're watching a movie.
That's how I feel when like I'm playing like God of War, like the new one, and there's a fucking like 15-minute cutscene where two dudes fight, and I'm like, man, it would be rad if I could play this, you know. Or, like all these games where, like there's a long cutscene, and it's stuff I could reasonably do in the game, and you're just kind of showing it to me just to show it to me. Like, it would be rad if I could do this though.
Like, and when we say this, we're not saying interactive cutscenes where you press a single button to make the
not fucking shitty little quick time events or anything like that. Like, give like real fucking gameplay. Yeah, just all that shit in the Call of Duty games just overblown now. It's like
I also love
fuck stop trying to do story Call of Duty.
Oh, no.
Just do multiplayer. I don't want like
Call of Duty.
Like just be a gun shooty game.
Call of Duty can do some good stories, but it's just.
I mean, I kind of like the Black Ops story, I guess, until it wasn't good anymore. I guess the stuff with Modern Warfare.
Whatever the Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty had a good story.
Oh, fucking Modern Warfare rebooted?
I think so.
Oh, so good.
That had a good story. Like they can do good stories. It's just that what they showed made me go, so you could have just completed this mission without doing any of this.
Yeah. Yeah, because like the thing is open, right? And then they're chasing it down, and then they send it like the thing
the whole mission happened because you missed your shot.
Yeah, the whole mission happens because you missed your shot. So then they send the fucking RC car in to blow up the plane, and it blows up. And all it really does is just open the back door again, so you can get back in. And you're like, okay, that was all completely pointless.
Like, this would be cool if it was like a Metal Gear game, and you're what's his name? Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, because you'd be running across the tarmac trying to catch the plane
Exactly.
and cutting up fucking robots and shit.
You'd be on your own 2 feet while these people are driving cars. You're cutting the cars
Yeah.
up and shit. You'd be playing it.
You'd be like parrying bullets and shit and fucking
But it's,
like jumping off of flying monster, like flying robot thing. Yeah, you do all kinds of crazy
there was-
shit.
And like the worst and best part about it is the plane like starts flipping over and the car drives over the
Right.
top.
Like what the fuck?
I'm like, all right, cool. This would be
Crazy.
awesome if it was a movie. It's a game.
It's like where was the gameplay people want to see in that, you know? Painful. Oh well. But you know what? It's pretty cool that they put out the Cold War Alpha whatever.
Yeah, that is cool. That is nice.
demo that people could play for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So
I
that was
think
interesting.
I think it'll be fine. I just think what they showed was goofy.
Yeah, it's just silly. But I mean, you know, that's what you like. They're at the point where they have to kind of go ridiculous now because
There,
you know
there
there's
was
so
a,
many games and they all gotta stand out somehow.
There was a lot of bro energy in that trailer.
So much. There's gonna be like dudes just fucking doing lines of coke at some point in the game and fucking it's kicking a hooker out of his house. Some crazy shit. Like it's gonna be like fucking like Grand Theft Auto except a military shooter.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else of significance that I wanted to talk about in the video. I think that was kind of it. I think that was all of my stuff. You guys want to talk about anything else?
Well, so 505 Games fucking lied. Actually, let's make fun of Prince of Persia real quick.
Oh.
So Prince of Persia remake got leaked, and then they had to put out some stuff. So they put out a screenshot that was really shitty, and it was hilariously bad looking. And then some dude was like, "Actually, that was from like a few months ago. Here's what the game kind of looks like now, and it still looks like shit and hilariously bad." So fuck that idiot. This game looks shitty and terrible. I think they even showed a little bit of gameplay, and if it's the gameplay stuff I saw, that I think I saw, it still looks like shit.
Can we also talk about Ubisoft and the
Like
emails,
just in general?
and the emails they're sending out to people?
Oh shit, we can talk about Scott Pilgrim too. I fucking forgot. A bunch of shit happened this week.
Yeah, that did happen this week. As well.
So yeah, let's talk about Ubisoft real quick. Fucking fuck Ubisoft for doing this bullshit where they fucking keep games that people want for fucking years and years on hold. They just fucking hide them from people and put them out at a time where they know they're gonna need them, like now when they're going through a whole bunch of crazy, insane sexual assault allegations and all kinds of other bonkers shit.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Fuck Ubisoft. What are these emails you're talking about? I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, I've been getting like ever since they announced, or since the phone game got announced that was obviously really bad, my phone just exploded with emails from Ubisoft. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, we have this, try this game out. Oh, by the way, we have this, try this out. Please try this out. Don't think about all the other stuff that happened. Try this out.
I hate
I didn't get emails from them at all until that happened.
Of course. They're trying to fucking distract you and make sure their reputation isn't completely trashed by the end of this fucking year.
Oh, they're on their way.
Yeah, they're about to be the new Blizzard, where everybody fucking hates them until everybody forgets. I won't forget, though.
Never forget.
We know.
I will fucking hold a grudge until you fix your ways.
We know.
Or until you drag your CEO out onto the streets and put
Both.
him in a guillotine.
Woof.
Woof. Wolf. Both. Alright, so 505 Games fucking lied about the Control Ultimate Edition. They kept saying it's just impossible to just upgrade the game you have into the Ultimate Edition so you could, upgrade to the PS5 edition later. Just completely impossible. So
Excellent,
Mark
good.
Greenwalt Jr. on Twitter said, went onto the PS4 store, new release area. It says, I own the Control Ultimate Edition. I purchased the Deluxe Edition back at launch. So, bro, they literally, by accident, apparently, because they pulled this down later, revealed that it was completely possible all along, and they were just fucking lying out of their fucking teeth, which we knew. We knew that.
It just wasn't proven yet.
We just didn't have evidence. But now we do.
And now we do.
So fuck these assholes for lying. Dick as shit. You know what, man? I might never buy a 505 published game again. Depends. Because that shit is garbage, and I fucking hate it.
It is pretty garbage.
So fuck those guys. Control's still a good game, though. So,
Control is,
you know, if you don't feel strongly about this situation, I would
get it.
suggest buying that game.
Yeah.
Also, do you guys care about the Scott Pilgrim game at all?
No.
Which one?
The Scott Pilgrim game, Scott Pilgrim versus the World game, or versus the game, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. I think it's versus the world.
Like,
No.
like the remake that they're bringing out.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, the Ubisoft had a conference thing, and they fucking announced Scott Pilgrim was coming back. The Scott Pilgrim game's coming back. Like, everyone is super excited about this, and I mean, yeah, the animations are cool and all that shit, but the game was mediocre.
I think people were just happy to play the game again, or have access to play the game again.
Yeah,
because like, you know, people.
That's nice, but the
Look,
game was mediocre.
Deshaun, everybody likes shitty things. It's okay. It's okay to like shitty things, Deshaun.
It's a lot like River City Girls, where the game looks amazing, and it has some fun elements, but ultimately it's just a mediocre beat 'em up.
I'm not calling Scott Pilgrim shitty. I'm just saying Deshaun thinks everything is shitty. Therefore, it is okay to play shitty things.
It's alright to play shitty things.
It's okay.
Just, you know, you like to play shitty things. Like the Scott Pilgrim game.
Anyway.
So Black Mesa sound design or audio designer literally slaps his wife's wet ass for audio design.
Oh, I saw that.
Can you name a bigger Chad in gaming?
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty great. I need this walking sound, honey.
Yeah, come over here real quick. Yeah. Slapped her ass.
I mean, you know how they came up with Zach's sound effects for League of Legends, right?
No.
They filled a condom
Really?
with water and then threw it around a recording booth.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's the best.
I love
I love. Yeah, audio designer stories about what they used to make sounds are fucking great. They're always amazing.
Like, every time you hear about them, like, oh yeah, I heard this sound, and I decided to bring it into the office, and was like, hey guys, listen to this.
There was one where I can't remember what movie it was, but they were trying to make an explosion noise with like a meaty explosion. So they took like a tuba and filled it with meat, and fucking like blew through the tuba so the meat would just splatter all over the ground. Super weird, but they said they got the noise they needed.
I know Star Wars has a lot of ridiculous, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we just did this. It's like, why?
That's because fucking Star Wars is held together by fucking bubblegum and duct tape.
And I'm talking about like the older Star Wars though, but yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. There's a lot of cool like breakthroughs they did for that movie though.
Yeah.
I don't need this level of like negativity in my life.
Hey, I think it's awesome that they were made like that. That they were made fucking, you know, on a shoestring budget and barely got finished at all.
I don't think he's
movies
talking
come
about
out there
that
like
half of
that.
the conversation.
Oh well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, there's two ways to take the whole bubblegum and shoestring comment.
I think that's awesome. I think that to me shows more genius than just having everything go right. You know, that to me makes
Yeah, it's
something
like-
better than just having everything go totally fine in the process.
It's like more impressive almost when like the indie like movie makers and stuff or indie game developers, like they make something that's just like a good product. It's not like spit shine to like perfection, but and like maybe it's grainy or whatever, but like it's still like a really good project.
Yeah.
Like that is way more impressive to me than like churning out the next Transformers movie or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Like I enjoy that. Like a lot of the stuff we find to be staples of video games and shit, and of movies and media in general, were made because some dude needed, like, he didn't have the money to make a thing, so he had to bullshit it, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I love stuff like that. That's interesting. Jesus Christ.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my family just walked in their house, so.
I heard. We all heard.
Yeah.
Podcast. That's what we do.
So I think that's a good ending for the podcast.
That's
I
the
would agree.
podcast.
Things in this place.
Where can we find you, Deshaun?
You can find me at YouTube at Mr. Urban Buddha, Twitter Mr. Urban Buddha as well, and on Twitch at Super Urban Buddha.
And where can we find you, Derek, the silent one?
You can just find me at Game and Second on pretty much everything. Just look it up.
All right, and you can find me at I Press the Buttons on YouTube, Twitter, and then you can find me, or YouTube and Twitch, and then you can find me at IPT Buttons on Twitter. You guys all take care, and as always, laugh at yourself. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck is going on.
And we'll catch you next time.